Hey, bubbling, coming in, crushing this art. So, I wanted to come in and talk a little bit more about sextiles since I drew that card today, right? So, and look, now this makes me feel like I gotta start talking about the semi-sextiles and the inconjuncts because why aren't those cards in this deck? Like, I got this deck and it only has like the major aspects, right? And what, they're even called like sign based? Well, okay, the first sign to the second sign, the first sign to the eighth sign, the sign based. I don't know. I don't really get it. I don't really get why there's that cutoff. I do not think that semi-sextiles are half sextiles. They're 112, which means that they are like 1/8 or 1/6 or 1/2, even though the 1/2 is like your body and like your anchor, so we kind of have a closer connection to the body. But either way, it's 112, meaning that it is one of the most different energies you'll find, right? Versus a sextile, because if you go 1, 2, 3, there'll be like 6 of those. So it combines on an energy of yang and yin, right? Where then, excuse me, where then the spirit of whatever is sextiling whatever else is akin, right? Where the spirit of whatever is being sextiled is akin to what's sextiling. I don't know. The two things in sextile have a shared spirit, although they have different modes of operating, right? So like, for example, if we start with the Aries sextiles, Aries is fire. So Aries' element has a yang spirit, right? Just like air has a yang spirit. And what are Aries' two sextiles? Well, they're Gemini and Aquarius, right? And the thing that the sextile brings to the table is their closeness. And like there are different ways about this though. Like there's a personality or a personalness to the thing sextiling Aries, right? And especially Leo and Sag too, right? But you find this further away when you get to the air element of Libra, right? You find a literal impersonality through Libra, right? So the thing about it is the sextile is always close by, kind of like 1/2 or 112, aka the semi-sextile from like Aries to Taurus or Aries to Pisces, right? This is going to be really close, but this is so close that it doesn't necessarily share the same spirit, right? This is like me to my body. Like my body thinks in terms of natural processes, right? Where if we're thinking about now the sextile, this is almost where, okay, my friends or knowledge, right, from Aries, if I'm thinking about Aries, right, when I get deep with self-expression, right, I kind of feel just being a brute force about passion, about getting it done. I see how self-expression does that, right? But in the mode of working through logic, working through communication, working through sort of calibrating where you're coming from and artistically expressing it, right? Gemini, where it also kind of relates to the inherent knowledge of Aquarius, right? Like Aquarius is just in the know, right? And it's in the know with its own relationship to knowledge and truth, so it's different, but it is in the know, right? Like that's its I feel it's an interesting sign because it's like different, although it has that opposition to Leo, so it's not different due to solar means or like artistic means. It's just different because it's so deep in the know, right? Which is like that almost Uranian like channeling thing. But either way, so then Aries, right? Aries' ability to sextile goes through your raw passion and your raw direction and self having the opportunity to express itself in an articulate way with Gemini, right? Now Aries to Aquarius actually allows you the means of knowledge or reason or path or tools or a sort of oversight or understanding of how to integrate your on how to integrate your passion, how to integrate yourself, right? So those will be Aries sextiles, right? Right, your selfhood, Aries, able to express itself in Gemini, And then you have you, your selfhood, really able to get a foundation with knowledge and with its know, like a sort of a knowledge of the self and a being able to bring out knowledge of the self, right? Because Aries to Gemini too is a third house, so it is literally the Gemini self-expression, where the Aries to Aquarius is just tapping you into your knowledge, right? Your knowledge of self and your knowledge of the world, and you being able to open up through that, right? This is more so how you from Aries would gain new connections, right? Versus through Gemini, how you would sort of dive deeper onto your connections, just your expression, right? Expressing to your friends, right? Where Aquarius is almost taking a step back and getting to more so the reason, or getting to just the knowledge. It's less personal, right? It's more just in the know, right? So it's still going to empower you to act based on that knowledge, but it's not your knowledge. This is more like real understanding of the world, right? Going out to understand the world, right? And sort of learning from friends and like gathering that knowledge, versus Gemini is more so an elation or an expression of self, right? So that's kind of the difference in those two sextiles. So moving forward, right? We can sort of stick with this means. I'll do the fire signs first. So then moving to Leo, we know that Leo is going to sextile air signs as well, because it is fire. So it's opening up though with Gemini. Now where we saw the 11th house of Aries being Aquarius, the 11th house of Leo is Gemini, right? Whereas that was the third house to Aries, right? So this 11th house is really meaning that Leo, when you're in your purpose, it's sort of guiding your friend groups and your communalization around that self-expression, right? So the opportunity here is to being able to open up to new people, right? From your soul or from your purpose, about your purpose, right? About yourself, about what that means, right? About what that has to contribute, right? This is sort of like you knowing who you are and you sort of opening up about that, and you like basically like an interview type thing. Like, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do, you know, type thing. And this is opening you up to new people. So there's the opportunity there between your soul and your purpose, and it able to express itself in new ways, right? To new people with that Gemini 11th house sextile, right? So now when we think about Leo to Libra, this is actually how it communicates, right? Or how it can express itself is through resonance, right? So Leo is always trying to find what hits, right? And it expresses itself through what hits, aka what resonates, right? So that's the opportunity there, is to bring your purpose, right? And actually bring it across in a classical artistic means that hits, that resonates. So not only are you acting from a place of your soul, your purpose, but you're able to bring that light out and express that in a way that can be integrated by the community, right? Be integrated by your friends, be integrated by anyone who's around, just be received well, right? With that Libra third house sextile. So it's awesome. So Sag, my dear friend Sag, the one that finds themselves in anything. This is what I love about Sag. A little bit Capricorn, but mainly Sag, right? You have this ability. This is like the ability to sort of be detached and then just basically surf, aka not attached to currents, but utilize currents anytime necessary, right? So opening up in new ways from Sag, right, would be that sextile with Libra. So this is sort of you resonating with new people, and this is sort of you showing how and sort of expressing or sort of opening you up to all the ways in which you can find yourself in the world, right? So an expression of Sag opening itself up, right? This 11th house Libra, right, would be like it going out to resonate, and this is the sort of path, the communal zone, right, where Sag can sort of find bits and pieces of itself, right? So when it is resonating one-on-one, this is sort of opening it up, to new people. That's a sextile there, is to really go out and resonate, right? And as Sag, I feel like that makes so much sense, right? To go out, be a part of a community, and to really like take it in and to resonate and to be a part of that, right? Whereas then when we think about Sag's expression, right, and how it expresses itself is through Aquarius, is just through knowledge, right? So that's the difference between like when it's trying to open up, it's more through the people in the resonance, right? Versus like with Aries, it would go more so based on knowledge, right? Aries is more so based on the knowledge to guide the self out, right? Whereas Sag is more based on resonance to guide the self out, right? Whereas it expresses the knowledge that it gains from that. So the third house sextile from Sag to Aquarius would be, yeah, it being able to express knowledge, right? It being able to sort of, since it could find itself in everything and anything, take that abstract ability, right, and sort of utilize then the broader reason of any scenario, what's always available, right, and express through that, because it's not expressing itself through a given scenario's tools, right? Its tools are usually meta, since it's finding itself in anything and everything, right? So yeah, so that's about the Sag sextiles. So that completes the fire signs. I think I'll move on to the water signs, and then I'll take a little bit of a break. I might just take a second. So just skip, cause just let me chill, bro. Just let me chill. I'm just kidding. Like, just a lot, right? Just thinking and thinking and thinking. No, that's not even that much though. We're only 10 minutes in. I feel like my mind's a little weak. But we'll just take a second, right? We'll just take a second. So if I'm still saying take a second when you skip forward, you know, I'm still taking a second. So take a second. Just take a second to embrace the vibe. Give thanks for your blessings, for your ability to breathe tonight. Yeah. Starting to feel it coming back, because I got out of the zone. I like miss it now. I'm like, wait, we're not talking about astrology? Wait, what are we doing? Wait, I wanna do that now. Like, but when I just keep going, I'm like, bro, like, am I gonna be doing this forever? Like, shit's wacky. Okay, so we'll start with Cancer, just because it is the cardinal water sign. So now we're gonna start seeing the feminine. So I do truly believe, so this is the weird thing about the feminine. The feminine is roundabout. It's not linear like the masculinity. So masculinity is really easy in a way to get to the bottom of, I guess maybe from a logical perspective. I don't know about from too much. It might be way more difficult if you were just right-brained, right? And you were more in the feminine chakras. Or like, not that there are feminine chakras like that, but you were activating more the feminine side of your chakras, right? So, I gotta turn this up. I hope this don't get annoying. It's getting hot in here. But yeah, so there's the ultimate feminine in the water, right? But the thing about feminine isn't ultimate or pure, right? So this actually makes the most feminine earth, right? But it's not pure, because it ends up being sort of something inherited. It's sort of like this long-term will and control over something, right? That earth is, right? Like over your body, you care for it and you feed it and you sort of gather this body, right? And you care for it, and it's sort of yours, right? But it's sort of passed down, right? And it grows, and we sort of work with that. So that's sort of this, it is like the epitome in femininity in that it's not pure, which actually adds a masculine aspect to the feminine of water, even though it is pure feminine, if that makes sense. Because it's pure feminine, it makes it less feminine. Like the feminine is the real, the realized, the co-created, right? So that's just something we'll see. So that's why the spirit right, of air and earth are the same. They're masculine, whereas the spirit of water and earth are the same. They're feminine. But earth ends up taking the body of fire. You can't move it. It has a masculine body, right? Whereas air takes the body of water. You can move it. It has a very feminine, fluid, flexible means, but we control it, right? Opposite to earth. Earth is the feminine. We don't control it. We have to work with it, but it takes that masculine shape, right? So, anyway, that's a little bit about that. That's just to say a little bit about the sextiles and how they're always going to resonate on a spiritual frequency, but they're always going to have you, like we talked about, like say with Aries to Gemini, they're always going to have you take a step back. Like you could just act and you could just do that, but maybe if you use your words and you express that masculine drive through feminine means, or connect on that by utilizing a medium of some sort, right? Like language, then you know, you may be able to get to that easier. Like there's an opportunity in a little bit of compromise, right? Instead of just acting, I'll use my words, right? Or instead of just going out, I'm gonna base this on knowledge, or I'm gonna utilize this knowledge, right? From Aries of sextiles, right? So that's just a little bit about that. So going into water then. Water is gonna teach us about the feminine, obviously. I don't know why I said that though. So we're starting with Pisces, right? Pisces is, no, we're starting with Cancer. Cancer's third house is Virgo, right? So Cancer is really able to express itself through an optimization, through leveling up of physical ability, right? And this is, I feel like, because Cancer is almost as personal as Aries, right? And it's spiritual, it's water, and it's in the cardinal sect, and it's cardinal. It's just got all of these left-hand path qualities where, unlike Aries, it's not purely left, and it's sort of assimilating, or bringing in from its own basis or own zone. Excuse me. So what does that mean? That just basically means that it is in its own place, but it's figuring out how to grow that, or how to open that up in the right way to sort of nourish that, right? So it sort of already has, it is the sort of foundation and the and the well, right? So being able through Virgo to express itself is just literally like a leveling up of its abilities, a leveling up of the structure, a leveling up of what you care about, right? And really being able to physically utilize that or practicalize that with greater power, right? Because a lot of Mercury is just elation, right? Just like an expression of self is just an elation of self, right? Or a bigoting of self, gassing of self. And same with Virgo, it's just physical, right? So that's how Cancer can express itself. I feel like just upgrades are a good way for that. Like just like upgrading the home, right? Or upgrading the private life, upgrading what you connect to, optimizing connections, right? Yeah, and then what would then its 11th house be? It would be Taurus, right? So Cancer would really be able to open up in new ways around things, around stuff. So this would sort of, I feel like, be an opportunity where it'd be like there's almost like a show opening up. I almost feel like a co-op would be awesome, because it's like a co-op, like there's physical stuff opening up and this brings you out into new ways, right? Or Cancer's physical possessions, right? It being so in the home life, its personal projects and what it actually gathered sort of opening up, right? Into new ways, like diving into crafts, diving into something that's sort of creative, but almost more like quilting, or like it is creative, but it's more just like my stuff, right? Like something that I've accrued. It doesn't necessarily have to be creative, but it's really like your stuff bringing you out, and the sort of opportunity that sort of has to communalize. Like I sort of picture like a mom, right? And there being like this really awesome like product, or this really awesome way to, this thing that can really help you care for the home. and it's sort of being able to open up and you seeing like all these people talking about, oh, this will like really benefit like the home life, right, and stuff like this. So that'd sort of be that sextile, like your literal the things around you really being able to open you up to new people and grant you new connections, right? Whereas then you literally expressing an optimization, or you expressing how to optimize that sort of your like really yourself, or your your home, your private life, right? Your emotional security. So hey, that is Cancer. Once we move on to Scorpio, we start to realize that an optimization really opens it up, right? So Scorpio, learning how to optimize power physically is really opening it up into new means, right? Or opening up to new people. So this is really like, I feel like Scorpio going out to learn about something new, right? And really learn how to utilize an aspect of itself, right? And it's sort of communally integrating knowledge, right? Physical knowledge. So that's sort of that sextile. Once we move on to the third house one, this becomes Capricorn, right? So this is Scorpio, it's purity really expressing itself in just an ability to get it done. It's like Scorpio's connection with purity and truth will literally allow it just to express itself in a way that just works and just that gets it. Like when Scorpio, if it is in alignment, because it's in alignment with truth, it's already sort of gassed up by the nature that we're within in reality. So it's like as soon as it does something or expresses something, it just is, right? And this is sort of Scorpio's power, if it is in alignment with that purity and truth, to just express itself physically, right? Because it is an expression of nature, right? So it's like its expression, this is an ability to express nature, right? Like literally to work on nature's behalf. It's kind of what I see and express it. And so yeah, I think I had another point, but I forgot it, or it went somewhere. It just didn't want to say hi, so we'll let it fly away. So then we moved to Pisces, right? Now Pisces 11th house is Capricorn, and this is sort of, I feel like like looking deeper into it, Pisces is all about the interconnectivity of everything, right? So like that is really what makes the socialized settings happen, right? So this is really the real communal aura that allows us to feel connected, right? Is what Pisces will open up to. Like I picture like for Pisces opening up like orators or like businesses or like really solid structures, right? That are just kind of there, that guide us all around, that we're really able to sort of seep into and get to know, right? With that 11th house. Because it's like, yeah, it's like Pisces is everything that ties us all together, right? So it expressing itself in new means is like the business is, it's like diving into the business world, but sort of like why we all need it, like sort of opening up around the sort of deeper meaning behind sort of what this means, like what this means that we all go to the supermarket, like what this means. It's sort of I feel like, yeah, opening up around the common like that, where it's like this is just the broader structures that we're in, but it's sort of able to open up in new ways about them, and sort of, yeah, I almost feel like allow a new perspective on them too, just being a Pisces, right? But that's more the Pisces element of it. So what would be another way to sort of, it's almost like the loose boundaries of Pisces. Like if Pisces is going to open up to you, it's going to get it. And this is because like Pisces, I feel like, has the inability almost to be fake, and this could be like extremely not, because it's like also got an extreme ability to be fake, but like with that it's just always like all out, right? So it's like I feel like this 11th house aspect is really like when it's like the realness you have around sort of opening up. Like when you're opening up, it's sort of for you and I'm gonna get it, and I don't really give a fuck like necessarily what that means. Like I'm just doing this for me, right? Sort of thing. It's like that also Pisces element. So there's a couple things there. Like I said, really opening up around the meaning that brings us all to the structures that we all inherit, right? Is something, diving into the deeper meaning of the structures communally that we're all part of, right? And then also this sort of ability just to go out sort of for the self and connect to anything and everything, but sort of not allow that to really get to you, right? It's like, I'm gonna still be my own foundation out there, right? And then Pisces' third house of expression is Taurus, right? So Pisces, what everything, the interconnectivity in all of us, right? Or the nexus of water that connects us all, right? Expresses itself through our physical belongings, right? Like our body is a physical expression of the waters that we all incarnate through, right? So this is literally saying, the subconscious being able to express itself in physical things. I was actually thinking about this earlier, and so this is literally like stuff having a message. Like literally, like when people are like, "Oh my God, this cracker looks like Jesus" or something, like that is Pisces, third house, Taurus, right? That sextile, that opportunity, right? Just sort of an express in nature, right? But instead of more fluidly have it from just being a feeling, express it in a physical object, right? Whereas then, like I said, Capricorn would more so be that illusion, not expressing a physical object, but almost with the 11th house in action, right? I feel like it's like getting into the deeper meaning of action, right? With the 11th house, able to explore, like personal actions communally, right? Like really, because I feel like there's like this Pisces ability to be like, oh, you're doing that, like you're doing that, and then kind of see this sort of emotional depths of that, if that makes sense. So I really feel like the Pisces 11th house just allows it, like I said, to communalize with this sort of cold baseness in oneself, but also this openness that just allows it to get friends. Just allows it to be open, right? To do friends like a business for real. So, hey, I'm gonna come back to you with the air and the earth. So. We already touched on them a little bit in a reverse way, but we'll come back. So, hey, bubbly, Citra Beach. Bye.